Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sammii with another Let's Talk movie video. So today we're going to be talking about the 2021 film Intrusion. So before I even get into this, I am going to say this movie was just, it had me feeling some type of way in the ending, and I want to see if like something is wrong with me. Because right, the person I had watched the movie with was like really like we were on the same page. But you know what? I'm going to leave all of that until the end. So let's just begin. So our movie starts off with our main character, Meera, right? We see her jogging home, really, really beautiful home. Basically in the middle of nowhere, like there was no neighbors that was like walking distance from their house, right? So, she was there in the shower, doing her regular checks to see if, you find anything, which she did. And, instantly there was like a wash of fear over her face. Anyways, we meet her husband, Henry. Really, the first time I saw Henry and then I saw her, I was a bit like, I don't know, these two just don't seem to match. Henry was just like this nerdy looking dude, and then she's Meera is absolutely gorgeous. Not saying that they just seemed off to me. They just didn't seem like a couple. But anyways, so they went out to dinner, right? And this is where I was proved wrong because the chemistry between them wasn't perfect, but they kind of blended together. And Henry seemed like a really sweet guy. But anyways, he asked her like if she found anything during her check. So you obviously see that Henry is that type of husband that pays a lot of attention to his wife. She told him, yeah, she nodded and said she did, and he told her that you'll always be there for her. If he comes back, he's right there beside her, and I'm like, this dude is just too perfect. So, by that we get that she actually had breast cancer before and like, she won the fight and then it just came back. No, they got home, right? And instantly they found footprints in the house and Henry first thought was like, did you leave the back door open? And then it dawned on me like you have a big ass house. You guys don't have neighbors like nowhere nearby and you guys don't have any security system. Like how does that make sense? Anyways, they're checking around, split up. As soon as Meera turned on the light, there was the house like flipped upside down. Like everything was everywhere. And they called the police. But after the police checked and everything, that's when you realized that nothing was missing. So what were these people actually looking for? So it turned out that Meera is actually a psychologist and Henry is actually like one of those construction dude, him having his own company and stuff. So the next day, like the detective guy, which reminds me of that Doug Dimmadome from Fairly Odd Parents. I don't know why. I think it's a height, but like just his demeanor just seems Doug Dimmadome. I talked to Henry, right, and I asked him like, this is really weird. Like, this is a nice house and I have nice things and nothing, not gone except for like I think it was two phone and a laptop was like the only thing that was stolen. And him say like even the detective said it, he's like such a large house and you obviously build it yourself, why you never put in like security system. And he's like, because I thought it was like a safe town and I expect something like that to happen, like the uptown area basically. So, Henry put in a alarm system, make sure that it's one of those that you can connect your phone to and you can just lock all the doors with your phone. And make sure I'm putting some sensory light and everything was just perfect, right? So anyways, Meera came home that day and she saw it and when she come home, everything was actually fixed now because Henry fixed up back all the shelves and put up back all the pictures. And again, Henry is just so perfect. Like he's like one of those guys that him just want to fulfill like your every need. And then it make you think like maybe I should just get myself a nerdy boyfriend because they seem perfect. So while she was there looking at the pictures, Henry walked over to her bag and took out this file and just started reading it. And I'm like, dude, give a little personal space. I get that you kind of clingy in some ways, but you're doing too much. Anyways, he got angry because she went and saw the doctor without him, and he's definitely tired that he wants to be there. He wants to be in everything that you're doing. And they had a little argument, and he was like, why you never tell me that you're going to the doctor, and he's getting angry because he's very worried about her. And she told him like, no, I didn't want to worry you, and it wasn't anything, which it wasn't. Because after seeing the doctor, they said that it was just really scar tissue. She's completely fine. And them hug, and like the kissing scene was just so weird. It seemed so awkward. Like it's like them a kiss, but them not really kiss. It was just weird to look at. So now they're in bed, right, sleeping, and Meera just woke up and realized that the light was out. Like they're turning on the lamp, nothing, and she woke up Henry and told him like the lights out, and he's like, look up, and he's like, oh, it's probably the storm that knocked it out. But he's that guy, and he's like, what, I'm just going to go and check the generator. So while he was out, Meera got up, putting on her clothes, and that's when we saw like a silhouette behind her in the house. So yeah, people are in the house with them. So Henry's outside, and that's when him realized, say, so instantly Henry look back to the house, and then him see flashlight in the dark house. So yeah, my man start running on. Like him slip over some stuff. I don't even know what he slipped over because there was nothing there. But yeah, him run towards the house, and when he got in, there was Meera tied up on the floor. Like they duct taped her, and him help her. Him help her like remove the duct tape and like tell her like, okay, we have to leave out, and they're sneaking out, right? And that's when they saw two guys. So he's there telling her like to just hold back, just wait and let him go first. So we see Henry go over to this flower plant and picked out like a gun, and Meera was instantly like struck, like what the frig is that? She was like, who is this man? Like just the look on her face, she seemed more fearful of Henry with the gun than the people in her house robbing her. So anyways, Henry kept calling her, like telling her to come over towards him, and she's there like panicking, like she don't want to come near him. And that's when another guy, one more intruders, because there was no three of them, tackled Henry. Henry can fight. This dude is doing everything to protect his wife. Like him push her up, like to run up the stairs in front of him, and like while one of the guys had him like him kick the guy in his face, and Henry was just everything. Like him run through the door, they ran in the room, and Henry was there using his body to like block it and tell her like she need to go. They're on like the second floor, right? And he put like a chair behind the door to like brace it so they could come in so easily. He handed her his car keys, like, I'm going to lower you down to the ground floor, you get to the car and you leave. And she's like, she know I'm leaving, but he's like, no, you need to go. And Henry, it dropped her down to the ground floor, which surprisingly is really like high drop, but she was okay. She never break her leg. And she as soon as she reached, they break through the door, and Henry was there with them. So she ran off, she just hear gunshots and everything, and she's screaming, Henry, Henry. I'm like, girl, there's nobody who's going to hear you. Like, which part in the day? And then she in the car, and then a big dog jumped out the window, but she's there trying, fumbling with the car key. Same time she hear more gunshots, and then one of the bad guys came out and like him pull off the mask off his head, and when you look, it was like a young guy. He looked probably like in his late teens. It looked like 19, like 18, 19. Looked really young, and like him holding him stomach because he got shot. And as soon as he said help, like he got shot again, and there was Henry, and that's when you knew like Henry is a good ass shot, right? This dude went 0 to 100 real quick, like the that need that survival mode kicked in, like it was like that killed or be killed moment. Like Henry was just that guy for me. It was just whoa for me. Like I was like, this did he just do that? Like this one guy, like as far as there was like three of them in there, and I am assuming they're all males, right? So the next day, no, she is there, she's pissed. And like she asked him, I can't believe you have a gun, like we're one of those family. And I'm like, girl, you're mad that he used a gun to save your life. The same dude them that never even hesitate to tie you up, and you're mad that your husband hid a gun in the house to protect you. Make it make sense. Like I could not get her anger. I get that there's people who hate guns, right? But her reaction was just a bit too much, and it was just annoying. Anyways, the detective them come, cause and show them the pictures of the three guys who had broken in, and he was like, do you know them? And they were like, no. And he was like, no, I've never seen them before, right? And he's like, well, they come from like across town, like the poorer part of town and whatever, whatever. And he's like, two of them is dead except for this like one guy. He's still alive, but he's in like critical state at the ICU. And so they're also, and them also said there was this other case tied to it because there was this missing girl, and Meera was instantly like, oh, I hope you guys find her, and kind of ask you like, how does it link to this case? And that's when you found out like the girl is actually a relative of the three guys who actually broken into the house. Who the hell cuts food like that? Like, this girl looks like she has never cooked a day in her life. Like, the whole time she there holding the knife, my friend should have cut her finger up on screen. Girl can't cook for shit, because I don't know what the hell that was. Henry, him coming, say I'm go pan already, I'm gonna get some stuff for the party, because they're going to have a housewarming party, right? And instantly she's like, you still want to keep the party, like you just killed two persons. And I'm like, why are you angry? I'm more expect her to be shaken up, but she's more angry at the fact that the two people who tried to kill her and their husband is dead. Girl, I cannot. This was the issue I had with the movie. I cannot get her anger. I could have understand if they had like some past traumatic event that had happened in her life, maybe maybe it would have made sense, but they didn't say anything, so I can't understand her anger and why she's mad that the people them who tried to kill her is dead, and that the fact that Henry don't care. Like I don't care either. Like I'd be so happy that he did something like this. Anyways, he's like, yeah, him want keep the party, him just want continue with him life. Him not see why she don't want for do the same either. Anyway, she did just tell him for going to the supermarket and get the stuff. So as soon as he left, she realized that he had left his wallet on the counter. So she instantly called him, phone went to voicemail. So she had tell him, say, I'm gonna go through because you left your wallet here. But you saw that she was still fearful, because she is imagining that somebody's actually there in the house. So she said, I'm going to actually come and see if I can catch up to you. So she left out, following him, and that's when we saw Henry taking a different turn than where the supermarket was. We saw him going to the St. Mary Hospital. Anyways, we see when she turned for follow him and almost crashed into our next car. Like, you're so focused on trailing your husband that you're not even checking your surroundings, almost killing off another family. But she was okay. She didn't die. She just spun and I think one of her rear view mirror got knocked off the car, but she was fine. But no, she came home and there was Henry sitting down, and she's like, he's like, oh, you went out for a drive? She's like, well, no, I was actually trying to catch up to you, and I saw that you made a turn in the direction of the St. Mary Hospital. And he's like, oh, I made a wrong turn, then I turned again, and I ended up back to the supermarket. And she's like, really? But your wallet is here. And he's like, oh, because they know me so long, she said I could pay another day. And I'm like, Henry, dude, your lies are so obvious. But anyways, she told him that she met into an accident, and instantly, because Henry is that warrior, and go up to her, are you okay, whatever. And she's like, yeah, man, it's fine. um she had to get towed, and she ended up like taking an Uber back home. Oh, by no, like I tell you, she went through a very traumatic experience, and as a psychologist, you think she would actually, go seek therapy, because this has obviously been a lot for you, because she's actually seeing things like she's seen like the burglar there holding a gun at her and stuff like that. So she's really jumpy. Anyways, on her way to her car, she got one of the persons who were invited to the party told her that I'm sorry that you cancel the party, and she never know. So she texted her husband, and he's like, yeah, I canceled it because I see that you're worried and stuff, and you can always do this another time, really. So you see that he's just concerned about her, and he's doing this for her. While she was in the car, the detective tapped his glass and told her that the last guy that was in the ICU had actually died. And she is like, really? When did he die? And he told her it happened like the Sunday. Anyways, he was complimenting the car like, oh, that's a really nice ride, those heated leather seats, and GPS tracker and all of this shit. And she's like, yeah, yes, my husband's car, whatever. Anyways, I guess the GPS thing kind of made idea popped up in her head, and she decided to see where he went, right? And she saw the address, type it in, and decided to go there. Like, I get that I don't get where her again, the movie, the writer did not make it make sense. They just dropped in a lot of scenes and just say, here, work with this. We don't get why she's curious about this in any way. It's not like she suspects him of cheating or whatever. She just say, okay, why was he here? I am going to just go there. So she showed up to the house, right? The place where, that the bad part of town, where the criminals actually came from, the guys who broke into her house. Again, she is so not street smart in the slightest. Like, you show up to a place in this, big expensive car, you just look nervous as hell, you're looking around, just drawing attention to you. She just seemed out of place. Anyway, she break into the people them house, right? And looking around, she ended up seeing the picture of the missing girl and the guy that had actually broken into her house together. Then she ended up finding an envelope with her husband's business logo on it, right? So again, curious, I don't get why. So anyway, she got there, and she ended up, when she leaving, she saw a post office and went and going to the people them post for some strange reason. And again, I don't know, maybe it's woman's intuition, let's put it at that. But the movie just wasn't making any sense to me. Anyway, she opened the people them post box and found a parcel, right? A big envelope. Opened the envelope, and there was a tape recorder on it. Instantly, this hillbilly looking dude came out, right?
You've been videotaping me?
No. I'm telling you, it's not mine.
And again, I'm not surprised that somebody was following her. So yeah, him end up smash the recorder, and nervous as hell, she ran out of there fast as fuck. No, she's home, right? And she put on the tracker to see where her husband was, from the phone and whatever. So she's there, it's alright, she has some time. So she opened the recorder and, look at the video. It was a bit, um blurry, not blurry. And then she decides to order a new camera, like, oh, and send it to her work address, which that won't make any sense because you don't need a new camera. All she had to do was take out the memory card out of the camera and put it in her laptop. I watched the video, but anyway, she went up to her husband's office and checking around to see if she find anything, and she saw that one of his file cabinet was security locked, and I guess she felt paranoid about that. Anyway, she found a thumb drive, and she started to go through it, but she not even realized that her husband was actually inching closer to the house. So when she there searching, she ended up find one picture with one of the guys on it who was actually dead, like the guy, one of the guys who had entered into their house. And I'm like, Henry, Henry, what the hell? So Henry actually knew one of the intruders. Anyways, as she was there, trying to go through more, Henry came in, and when she heard the car, she instantly, you know, ran out. And Henry saw that the light from outside him could have tell that somebody was in his office. So when him come in and they buck up like in the hallway, she's such a bad liar. Like, these two should not lie because they can't lie to save their life. And he's like, oh, what do you think about my office? And she's like, she wasn't in there. He's like, you sure? And like, he basically said, like, he saw the light. She's like, oh yeah, I was going to clean up in there. And because they're not in the office. And he's like, yeah, word. So she's like, yeah, I was going to clean, but then I realized that everything is perfect, so I didn't need to clean anymore. And it just never did make any sense at all. And her phone ended up ringing, and she ended up missed the call from like an unknown number. We still didn't even know who the hell was calling her. But anyways, she he saw that she was using tracker on the phone, and he's like, oh, you use this, I use it too, like, I saw that you were across town today, like, why, like, why were you there? And she tried to ignore it and tried to like change the subject, but Henry wasn't the type to like make things fast, because as soon as they were at dinner and eating, he bring it up again. He's like, why were you across town? And she is scared out of her mind, which I don't understand. Like, why are you scared of your husband? Like, she's there looking at him. And the only thing legit left for the woman to start do a sweat. The way she was, it didn't make any sense to me why she was like that, why she was acting like that. And you legit saw her hand like hovering over the knife under her plate. The reaction wasn't making sense to me. Anyways, him tell her say it's because him did worry, because him did a call her and him could get her, so him check her tracking, and him that one if it's because she found a specialist around that side of town, because again him think the cancer and thing. So by now I can tell you she's really wary of her husband Henry. So as soon as he fell asleep, she snuck out of bed and went back to his study to finish going through the thumb drive. And that's when you found the picture of the man more clearer, and also a picture of the missing girl, which was his daughter, on Henry's laptop, on his thumb drive. So not only did Henry know these people, he worked with these people. So why did Henry, when the detective asked him, you know, do you know these people? Why he never said anything? It was really strange, and it did have me like wondering, like, what the hell, Henry? Like, I didn't think anything bad. I don't know. It's like it was so hard to see Henry in a bad light. I didn't understand where she, but it just wasn't. Anyway, next day we actually see her at the police station. She was actually sitting down in her car there with the thumb drive. So I'm guessing, she was going to give it over to the police. Which again, I don't understand her quickness to give up her husband. You don't ask him any question. You just assume, say your husband is a bad guy. The writers did such a poor job with this. Like, I'm not getting why. I just saw my husband. He's been there with me through cancer. Like, you saw me at the worst. You were there paying my medical bills, everything. You were just there for me. And even during the intrusion, right? You were there for me. You make sure you protect me. You put your life at risk for me. And you found something like this, and you don't want to give him like the benefit of the doubt. You think you know somebody well enough to know that, okay, this, yeah, I kind of say something, but I don't believe it. Like, not my Henry. She not ask him nothing. Anyways, while she was there, she saw the said guy who smashed the recorder being arrested by the police, and he must shout, say something like she deserved it, some crap like that. Even got a call, and then she even got a call from work saying that her schedule had been changed, and whatever. So she ended up going back home. So I guess she changed her mind about going to the police. And then she decided to ask Henry, like, what the hell was whatever. She showed him that she found the thumb drive, and she found the pictures of the guy and the girl. So you knew these people, why you lied to me? And Henry, him tell her the truth. Like, he sat her down and he told her, like, he's like, do you know what I had to do while you were sick? Because she just automatically think that, okay, they're well off. She don't know how money comes, she no business. She's just one of those carefree wife, because this man made sure that she have everything she needs. Yes, she have money, she work a job, but him are the provider, basically, right? And he's like, while you were sick, the insurance only could cover so much. So what he had to do was cut costs, right? And basically take the shortcut road, and stuff to do with the IRS. They had to make them think he was the one doing the projects by himself, when him have like over a dozen people working with him and stuff like that. So she's like, how you know the guy? She's like, he's one of the guys them that I had hired, but he's such a bad drunk that even one day when his daughter showed up on the site, she went over a curb, like, and him get vexed and started to beat on her, and he had to fire her, right? But this guy knew that he was cutting costs and started to blackmail Henry, saying, you need to pay me money or I'm going to tell the IRS. And he's like, and so she's like, so why never make him? She's like, I have a lot to lose than this man. Yeah, he might get in trouble. Me have more to lose. And then, the fact that I'm married and I have you, him not go on think that, so he has been paying this man. And as soon as him decides him I gonna stop paying the man make him know say him gonna regret it. So that was why she ended up finding the letter with Henry's handwriting and stuff on it at the person's house, because Henry has been paying these people to keep quiet, right? And them get vexed now and decides that they wanted payback because Henry don't want to pay them any more money. So yeah, she feel like shit now because she doubted this really wonderful man who has done nothing but try to make her happy. Yeah, she felt like shit, which rightfully so. Like, Meera, girl. And him even tell her the code for the cabinet. He's like, it's our anniversary. you know, because obviously I'm going to have like a lock on it really, because these are like confidential documents. This man is building house and doing projects for a lot of people. You can't really have stuff like that laying around. And again, you feel like shit now, don't you, girl? The next day she apologized to him, and you know him saying forgive her, and you know she trying to make it up to him, tell him that I think we should keep the party, and he's like, you sure? And she's like, yeah, let's do this, and you know everything is okay between us. So they're preparing for the party, and during the party now, she was there cleaning up, you know, to get some more dessert out, and then came on the news was the guy who she had saw at the police station, the same guy who had broken the recorder, where they're saying he's actually guilty of, you know, animal cruelty, dog fights, you know, torturing animals, but he have no connection with the missing girl that they were looking for. And instantly, like, she just jumped up and ran to her car to go and look at the videotape that was in her car. And again, another thing that just didn't make sense. I just didn't get why she felt that way. Anyways, she looked at the videotape, and that's when she saw.
Listen to me very carefully. I've been in that house before the other night. I worked on it when it was being built. My daughter Christine came over one day, and I saw the way he looked at her.
So she ran out of the car now and ran up to his study and took out, you know, went in the cabinet, put in her anniversary code and looked for the house plan and looking at his office, right? So she saw some like socket thingies, and she looking where they're connected to the house, and another one there, it was hidden behind like a little cabinet. So she pulled it away, but it didn't have like a socket thingy, but it had something over it. So she kind of peeled it off, and that's when she found like a button. She pushed it, and there was a hidden room that was open, right? And from here, so I already know what's going to happen. Like the movie just became super super duper obvious, and I actually got really annoyed, a bit lost interest in the movie. But let's continue. So she went downstairs and turned on the light, you know, all cautious and whatever. And yeah, there was a girl, the missing girl, tied up in that little secret area. And she heard when the girl pulled on the pipe, and that's when she recognized that the sounds that she has been hearing, you know, at night time, you know, certain times of the day, was actually the girl that was there in her house. Um, by now Henry had realized that she was in his office, because him have like the way him build a house is like, don't care which part in the house today, you can't say if somebody's in the office, right? So him make him way down there, because him pick up say Meera is actually suspicious of him by now. So anyways, Meera is there talking to the girl, trying to calm her down, and you know, trying to untie her, and that's when Henry came.
What are you? Your husband.
And you know, they started to fight. She bust his nose, him slam her to the ground, and tied her up. His nose is there bleeding, and you know they're still at the party. Him go upstairs and be like, oh, Meera got drunk, I put her to bed, and I slipped and I busted my nose. And everybody's like, oh, is she okay? He's like, yeah, but you guys need to leave. You know, with his fake smile, nose bleeding, and everybody was actually, they just took it okay. I guess because you're not really expecting anything bad from this guy, because he seems like a really sweet guy. And they ended up leaving, and Meera ended up waking up back. She untied the girl and they hid. So while he's coming downstairs, he's like, honey, we can talk about this, blah blah blah. Them as him come downstairs and I head back into the room, them ran up, him run after them, grab the girl, fight, um, knocked out Meera again, pulled the girl by her hair down. You know, it like I tell you, by now you picked up what's going on, right? Henry's the bad guy. So yeah, them fight. He make sure him lock the door with the locks and with the, the phone. Um, yeah. I can tell you, by here, so I checked out of the movie because it was just so stupid. They fought some more, and of course, Meera killed her husband, and she chopped him in the head with the same clock that he had gotten her the first time they met. You know, that same clock that has sentimental value. That's what she used to kill her husband. And even while he was dying, he's like, who is going to take care of you? Like, I'm supposed to take care of you. That's like all him can think about. We can't tell if he had killed other women before. I'm guessing he did. They didn't really give a backstory like that and whatever. So yeah, Henry died. Um, and she sold the house. The girl got free, and all of that. Yeah, that's the movie. That was the movie. I would give this movie honestly a 3 ratings. 3. Like it was good up until like the ending, I guess. In some ways, it wasn't good. I'm lying. The movie was horrible. I hated the movie. I cannot get over the fact that they killed Henry. Yes, I understand that Henry is a bad guy according to them, but they didn't make it make sense. The fact that she started to suspect her husband did not make any sense at all. What the writer should have done was, the detective, make suggestions to her, saying stuff like, I think they should have make it find out, what they should have happened. They should have made the detective do some detective work and find out that actually your husband was the one. Yeah, make the detective be the one that told Meera that that your husband actually been cutting costs, and found that this guy was actually working with your husband, and then she started dig and find. That would have made more sense than she started to dig for no reason at all, because she never had no reason to suspect her husband. In my opinion, I never felt any remorse with the missing girl. There was just no connection. I didn't feel anything. I'm just pissed at the fact that I liked Henry. I liked Henry. The movie just never make any sense. They didn't give you an opportunity to dislike the man, to make you want him for dead. They just throw it at you. It's like they just write the movie and just cut it up, and put it together. They didn't care how it connected. It just wasn't doing it for me. It wasn't doing it for me at all. Um, yeah, that was the movie. That was the movie. The writers really did poorly on this one. I am not going to lie. But yeah, tell me, do you think something is wrong with me for thinking the way I do? Did anybody else picked up why she was being all, you know, suspected her husband and stuff like that? Like, it's something I watched the movie 3 times, and the 3 times it just pissed me off even more because I cannot make the connection on why she would doubt her husband. Did you see it straight off the bat? Because again, I watched it with somebody and they felt the same exact way. Anyways, let's discuss this in the comments below. If you like this video, just please to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my page. And that's it from me. Follow me on all my social medias. I'll leave those in the description below. So until next time, bye guys.